Building a smart home might seem difficult, but it's much easier than you might realize. I'm going to show you how you can use inexpensive devices that you might already have sitting around your house, like this Echo Dot. Did you know it can run an automation based on who is in the room or not? It's crazy all the features that are packed into those things. I have 15 automations that are super easy to set up, not going to annoy your family, and are very useful. I often get asked where I should start by buying smart home devices or setting up automations. And the answer is simple. You have to tap into your inner hatred. You know, kind of be like Anakin Skywalker. That way you can realize what you hate or not really like around your house and start there.
I don't like sand.
For example, I hate front porch lights. I absolutely despise those stupid things. I forget to turn them on or off. They're the worst. That's why it would be the first thing that I would automate. All you need to do is get a smart on-off switch. And you can get some really good ones that are inexpensive, like the one from Casa that's only 15 bucks. Then create 2 automations, one to turn them on, and one, you probably can guess, to turn them off, and set both of them to run every single day. But when turning them on, I would use sunset instead of typing in the time. That way the lights will always turn on when it's getting dark outside, no matter what time of year it is. And technically, you could set this automation up in something like the Casa app, but I would set them up all in the same place. That way it's easier to find. So whether that's Amazon Routines, SmartThings, or Home Assistant, and that way if you need to make a tweak in the future, you know where to find it. Trust me, your future self will thank you. Lights on a schedule are the easiest thing to set up, and you're going to get the most bang for your buck since you can enjoy it every day. If you're going to do the indoor lights, which I highly recommend, I would use a dimmer switch. That way you can adjust the brightness depending on what time of day it is. Now here's a tip that will make your automations for your lights faster and easier to set up. Since you might have multiple lights in one area, like I do here in the living room and kitchen, group your lights together. In the Amazon app, it's really easy to do. Create a group and add your lights to it, and now check this out. Say you want the lights to turn on at 4:30 right before dinner. For the automation, you only need one action that will include all the lights. Simple, right? This automation is great because even if you're not home, the lights will turn on for any pets. I don't want poor Luna waiting for us to come home in the dark. Then if you want the lights to dim later in the evening, you can create another automation again with just one action, and you can set the brightness with that. And that way, if you ever need to make an adjustment in the future, you only have to adjust the brightness in one spot instead of editing it for every single light. It's so much easier. To me, automated lights are a must-have, and is what got me hooked on home automation. Once I automated lights in my house years ago, there was no turning back. Besides lights, there are tons of different automations you can run on a daily basis that are helpful. And one is changing your speaker volume. Say you're listening to music on your Echo really loud during the day. But once the kids are asleep, you ask it a question. You might not want it to be at level 9 out of 10.
Tomorrow is your anniversary. Would you like to buy something on Amazon? I noticed you have not bought anything for Allie yet.
So you can set up an automation to run every day to lower the volume at night and set it back to a normal level in the morning. And you can even take it a step further by putting all of your Echoes in Do Not Disturb mode temporarily. And I do this every single day around my kids' nap time. That way no announcements, especially from the doorbell, are going to wake up my kids. Robot vacuums are an awesome smart home device because they save so much time. And you might already have one that works with Amazon since most of them do. If so, you could run one of my favorite automations. Using your phone's geolocation, start your robot vacuum when you leave the house and have it automatically return to the dock when you come home. And I love this because I almost never see my vacuum running because it's always cleaning when I'm away from the house. Here's the catch. Amazon Routines can only use one device and not multiple to trigger the automation. With SmartThings and Home Assistant, you can have the automation run only when everyone is away, not just one device. And if you're using Amazon Routines, I would just set up the automation on whoever's phone is at home the most, and then make sure it only runs 9 to 5 Monday through Friday, and then it shouldn't run when anyone's at home. What's cool is that you can expand the geolocation radius for triggering the routine. That way you can have an announcement to say how long until you're home from your commute, or start playing music to let your kids know you'll be home soon.
Mom will be home in less than 3 minutes.
Oh no, we need to hurry and clean up this mess!
There's no time, we have to hurry and stuff it under the couch.
There's no room under the couch! Wait, I think I have an idea. Now you probably already have a video doorbell because they're super popular and useful. And if so, there's some really helpful and easy automations you can use with it. What's cool is if you have one of the newer Google Nest battery doorbells, you can run these automations too because they work with Amazon routines now, which is great. If you added that smart light switch to your front porch, the one that we talked about earlier, you can actually get that and your video doorbell to work together. If it's late at night, you could have the automation turn on the porch lights when the doorbell detects motion. The night vision on the doorbells is usually not great, so this will help identify who's there. Plus maybe even scare off somebody. Just make sure to have this only run when the porch lights are normally off late at night. Then have a few minute delay and turn the lights off after initially detecting motion. That way your lights don't stay on the rest of the night. Another automation you can create will help you not forget packages on your front porch. And the way it works is by creating one automation that will turn on a smart light bulb or light strip to a certain color when your video doorbell detects motion during the day. When packages are usually delivered. Now if you're walking by and see that the light is a different color, you'll know that there's probably a package on the front porch that no one's brought inside yet. Then create another automation to turn off that smart light or change the color back to white when the front door opens because you're probably grabbing the package. I put a delay on turning off the light so it gives me time to go outside and grab the package without turning the light back on. Also, if you already have a Ring alarm system, you can use the contact sensor for automations. Of course, you can set up an automation to announce on all your Echo devices someone pressed the doorbell. And I especially like this because I can limit it to only run while people are normally awake so someone doesn't press the doorbell late at night and wake everyone up. As I mentioned in the beginning of the video, there's sensors that you might already have that you don't even realize. Like the Echo 4th Gen has a temperature sensor built in, and you can run an automation if it's too hot or cold in the room. This is great if you don't have a smart thermostat yet, or if you want to put it in a bedroom or something to monitor the temperature. And you can just send yourself a push notification if the temperature gets too extreme. But even more useful is the occupancy sensor built into the latest Echo and Echo Dot 4th Gen. It uses ultrasound to detect if someone entered the room or if no one is there anymore. I tested it and it's actually pretty accurate, but you have to be careful on how you use it because it's not the same thing as a motion sensor, since it can take a few seconds of walking into the room before it detects someone, and it can take up to 30 minutes of no one in the room before it determines that no one's there. But surprisingly, with all of that said, it's still actually really useful, and here's some examples on how you can use it. Say you have an Echo Dot in your kitchen. It can automatically start reading you the news and then play a podcast or some music while eating breakfast in the morning. No motion sensor needed, and if this automation started a few seconds after walking into the room, no big deal. But I think the most useful way of using the ultrasound occupancy detection is turning off the lights if no one is in the room. My kids' bedrooms' lights are always getting left on, so this would be really helpful. It's actually really accurate too. I tested this out while sitting at a desk for a long time, and it did not turn off the lights while I was sitting pretty still. So for me, it's more accurate at turning off the lights compared to a motion sensor. I would probably still use a motion sensor for turning on the lights because it will work much faster, but you could still use it for a lot of things when walking into a room that don't need to be instant. For example, an automation for turning on a ceiling fan for some more airflow during the summertime when you walk into the room. If you have a ceiling fan that uses a remote, you could get a device like Bond to easily control it. You don't have to replace a switch or anything since the Bond bridge just sends out an RF signal to control the fan. I've used that one Bond bridge to control all my fans in my house for years and it's worked great. And then you can create another automation to turn off the fan if no one's in the room anymore. You could also use the ultrasound occupancy detection with something like your window shades. I have mine open up in the morning to wake me up, And I like the shades to stay open until I'm done getting ready in the morning. But that time could vary every single day if I exercise based on my schedule. So this occupancy detection is a perfect solution for this, to close the shades once everyone's done getting ready. As you can see, there's a lot of things you can do with automations that are easy to set up. And I'm sure that there's some people down in the comments saying, this should all be done locally with Home Assistant and nothing should use the cloud. And you're right, that would be more reliable. But if you're just getting started, Amazon routines work great. And if you're worried about Amazon's cloud going down, it feels like half the internet uses AWS. And it's only gone down once in the last few years, so I wouldn't worry about it. And I have a lot of automation videos coming up with some really cool ideas I'm excited to show you. So make sure you're following the channel with bell notifications turned on. Thanks for watching.
Wow, you guys really cleaned up good in here.
No, Mom, stop!
Wait, what? Is something moving in there?